Let's get right into this week's Real Estate Real Talk. We're going to try and figure out if we're headed towards a crash. And if we are, it's definitely not going to look like the one that happened in 2008. So here to help us navigate all of this, of course, Los Angeles real estate agent Keri White. Hey, Keri.
Hi, good morning.
So this is something that we definitely have to dig into. We've seen the market cool off in recent weeks, but can you talk about the massive growth that we've seen in the last few years and how that's led up to this recent drop?
Right. Well, everybody wants to talk about this crash and how things have changed and sales are falling and the sky is falling also. But we really need to look at what's happened over the last couple of years, which was not normal. If you were buying a house, if you know someone buying a house or you were selling, it's not normal to have 30 people knocking on your door, waiting to get in line. And then, the government decrease rates so low, they're basically at prime levels, which has never been seen in history. As home buyers in America, we're used to 5, 6, even higher than 10 for interest rates. So this frenzy to get out there and just buy property because rates were low caused this insane boom. We're looking at 40, even 50% in some markets. So right now, they're raising rates, trying to slow things down, which is making it feel like we're headed for this major crash. But really, we need to look at what happened the last couple of years and really need to adjust to a more normal level for home buyers.
Now, when we look at this, we are, of course, going to compare this, as naturally people would do, to this 2008 housing crash, as you just said, maybe a little PTSD in there. But how do these conditions compare to where we were during that time?
Yeah, that's natural to do that, just human nature. We compare what happened last time to this time, and that's also a fight or flight type of protection that we do just in our heads as humans. We've seen this before, so we know what will happen again. And what's happening this time is so much different. Like getting a loan right now is very, very challenging. Lenders and banks are more strict than they ever have been. Whereas in 2008, anybody was getting a loan. They had a stated income loan, which if you don't know what that means out there, it means you can tell the bank what you make and you don't need to prove it. And right now they're requiring significant amount of savings and reserves, very high credit, and it's a lot more difficult. In the past they had these adjustable rate mortgages where inventory was still being built. So home buyers were losing their homes left, right, and center because they actually couldn't afford it. Now with these adjustable rate mortgages, they're making sure that buyers can afford it at any rate that the loan happens to change to.
Now, when we talk about home buyers, we have to mention that millennials aren't going anywhere and they're going to continue to buy homes, which could keep those prices high. Can you talk about how that is going to impact the market?
Yeah, well, the facts are that millennials, you and I, we're outpacing the sustainable growth of housing. And that's the most overlooked fact out there. And it blows my mind that that's not being talked about more because there's more households being formed every year than homes being built. So we are severely underbuilt for just the regular need for housing. A lot of people have been living with parents or living with roommates to try to make up for that. But no matter what's happening with the market, you still have people who are forming families, having children, moving for work. So this supply is an issue that unless they start changing the way that they're allowing for zoning and building, which I know there's a lot of measures on your city's ballot to make sure you take a look and see what's happening with housing in your city and don't let what do they say? They try to sell you that it's for something else, but in all reality, we all need to come together to vote to help housing in all of our cities because there's a lot of us millennials and we need a great place to live that's affordable.
All right, Keri, thank you. Maybe next week, that's the topic that we'll kind of jump in on again. Thanks for your expertise on this one here this week. In the meantime, you can catch Keri on Instagram. That's at KeriAnn, and then check out our YouTube channel for much more at Keri White Real Estate. We'll see you next week.